The noises emanating from the machinery alerted the Minnesota man to an unsettling presence. What had started as an ordinary day at the coffee factory was about to unravel as he made the bold choice to delve into the matter. Even the most potent dose of caffeine couldn't have prepared him for the jolt of astonishment that awaited. Venturing into the depths of the industrial equipment, his gaze fell upon a startling sight: a pair of immense, yellowish eyes piercing through the darkness. It became abundantly clear that the entity lurking within the machinery was far from human. The man in question was Ezra Bennett, a roaster and warehouseman at BackatThem Coffee Company in Duluth, Minnesota. BackatThem is Hebrew for the best, but that term didn't describe the unusual noise he heard in the industrial unit that day in November 2017. Approaching the end of his shift, Bennett felt compelled to locate the source of the problem. Determinedly, he followed the sound until its origin became apparent. To his surprise, the disturbance led him to the chaff collector of the roasting machines. Typically responsible for capturing residual coffee grounds at the machinery's base, this particular part of the unit had trapped something entirely unexpected. And whatever it was, Bennett suspected it was alive, given the irregular clunking noise emanating from the equipment. In December 2017, the factory worker recounted his experience to the local Pioneer Press newspaper, stating, "My initial thought was that there's a raccoon or some creature in here. But that's implausible because the only possible entry point is through the smokestack, which sits approximately 30 feet above." A sense of professionalism and sheer curiosity got the better of Bennett, so he opened up the machine's lower panel to investigate. Although it was much too dark for him to see much inside the chaff collector, Bennett did catch a fleeting glimpse of something moving. Whatever was causing the commotion in the coffee roasting machinery, it was indeed very much alive. "I saw feathers, I saw wings, she started flapping," he recalled. To his amazement, Bennett then realized what was captive in the coffee pressing apparatus. As unlikely as it would appear, there was an actual owl trapped in the machine. Inside the chaff collector was a confined space containing a conical-shaped element. The owl had somehow got itself to wedge within that space. As a result, the raptor could not get itself out. There was not enough room in there for it to extend its wings, and the owl's talons could not get perched on the smooth surface of the cone, then made a wise decision. Wary of the risks of attempting to remove the raptor himself, he closed the door on the trapped bird. Bennett knew that even if he did successfully rescue the powerful predator without harm to himself or the owl, he still faced a problem. The chances of catching the frightened or angry bird in the vastness of the factory and warehouse were slim. For this reason, he decided he needed some expert help. As he told the Pioneer Press, "I hollered at the guys in the main part of the production area to call Wildwood." Bennett was referring to Wildwood's animal rehabilitation organization based elsewhere in Duluth. The charity's dedicated staff treats sick, injured, and abandoned animals with the intention of releasing them back into their natural environment. Wildwood's staff member, Tara Smith, wears several different hats at the organization as well as being a career. Smith is also an administrator and events co-coordinator, but it was while she was in the role of what the Wildwood website calls phone guru that Smith spoke to Bennett that day in November 2017. When she initially answered the call, Smith thought the report was a practical joke, as she later told ABC News. "I kind of laughed and I seriously thought it was a prank call, but perhaps then its incredulous tone convinced Smith that he was on the level." Wild Blitz director Farzad Farr wasted no time in driving over to the BackatThem Coffee Company premises. When he arrived at the factory, Farr took a similarly no-nonsense approach. What happened next was filmed by one of the coffee company's employees and later posted to YouTube. Farr took a heavy jute sack, which had previously held coffee beans to protect his arms and hands. Then he simply opened the door, reached in, and slowly and gently extracted the imprisoned raptor. It was a massive specimen, and despite its confinement, it did not seem injured. The bird was a beautiful white, snowy owl, and judging by its big size, Wildwood believed it was female. Bennett Whitley dubbed her Mocha. This is in recognition of the Yemeni port of the same name, which is famous for its coffee, and perhaps in an ironic comment on her white feathers, the chocolatey variation on the cafe latte. Far can only guess as to how she came to be trapped in the factory apparatus. The reason is still far from clear. I don't know why it went down the venting system. I have no idea, Fart told the Star Tribune. Maybe sat on the edge and then fell in. It's not like the chimney dwellers. Whatever the cause, Far and his colleagues at Wildwood reported a huge number increase of snowy owls in the area. Despite Mocha's ordeal inside the coffee roasting machine, there seemed to be no visible physical harm, although she appeared thin and covered in residue from the chaff collector. As a result, Far took her back to the wilderness, ensuring the owl's well-being and finding her suitable food that did not involve coffee. Interestingly, there was one unexpected outcome of Mocha's misadventure in the coffee factory. Smith, in a light-hearted remark to ABC News, shared, "She is probably the most pleasantly scented owl I've ever come across." Recalling their first encounter at the Wildwoods headquarters, Smith elaborated on the delightful aroma of coffee that filled the air when Mocha's crate arrived. Additionally, Mocha was now under the safe and caring hands of the workers at the animal sanctuary, where she was treated like royalty, a true queen among the snowy owls. I hope you liked this video. Please give us thumbs up, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.